Nowadays, it is estimated that the global life expectancy is close to 72 years. In this amount of time, there are many things that an average human being will be able to witness: solar and moon eclipses, meteor showers, the birth of a son or daughter, grandchildren. You could even possibly see the Halleys comet. You could go through 4 or 5 generational changes, have firm ideologies at a certain moment, and change them over time, since that is how our brain works. It is even more likely that if you have good health and were born after 1960, you will be able to see the first human colony on another planet, Mars. But what about the things you will not be able to see? Things that will change the whole universe but are so far away that you will not be able to experience them. Well, imagine for a moment that you, the person who is watching this same video, will live almost forever. That's right, almost forever. What do you think you are going to experience? My name is Rafael Peraza, and this is What Would You See If You Live for a Billion Years? In this video, we will talk about some of the universal events that will take place 1 billion years from now. Clearly, we will leave many out, but remember, the intention of these videos is simply to entertain and think about something different for a few minutes. Keep your mind open. We know this is impossible, that a human brain cannot store that amount of memories, and that probably the human race will not last that long, and that many things we will talk about will not make any sense. But again, we just want to entertain you for a moment. 2026, SpaceX plans to send the first manned mission to Mars. It is estimated that at this year, Elon Musk will send to the Red Planet the first human beings in history, something totally transcendental, since it is not only an incredible achievement by itself, but it will be the first step for a much greater plan to colonize the planet and eventually expand the human race. It is expected that by the year 2050 there will be a permanent base ready to sustain life in Mars, and that planet will become our second home. And who knows, maybe someday you and your impartial immortality will come to see the Red Planet with your own eyes. 3183. The Pyramid of Time will be completed. In 1993, the construction of a monument dedicated only to time began construction in Germany. It is quite basic. This will be a pyramid built piece by concrete blocks. Nothing crazy, but the point is that only one block will be added every 10 years. So, if by chance at that time you are nearby what is now southern Germany, don't waste the opportunity to see it finished. 10,000 years. There will be very few difference between any human race. At this moment, you, my friend, will be something very different. One of the very few people in the world who will be left with a different aspect or ethnicity in comparison to other human beings, since eventually, with so much mixture, migratory movements and globalization in general, and with thousands of new generations passing, everyone will have very similar genetic traits. So feel proud, I think, or not. 20,000 years. Only 1% of the words of any language will continue to exist. If you travel in time, let's say to the 1900s France for example, no matter how good French you speak now, you will not understand almost anything of the French of that time. This is because we humans are always changing our way of communicating. So, of every 100 words you use in the 21st century, in the 221st century, you will only keep like one, and you will not even notice it. 20.1 thousand years. Chernobyl loses its radioactivity and becomes habitable again. The failure of a nuclear reactor in Ukraine in 1986 ended in one of the most catastrophic events in our history. Thanks to the leakage of more than 8 tons of radioactive material, a danger zone was established around the area. But this is not forever. If you wish so, at the year 22,022, you can be one of the lucky few to buy a house in this forgotten part of Europe without having any fear of radiation. To me personally, it would be awesome to live in Chernobyl at least for a time, and I bet that house prices will be quite low. 50,000 years. We will have a new ice age and the Niagara and Iguazu falls will disappear. With or without human influence, an ice age in the next 50,000 years is unavoidable. and obviously it will not be the last. So you better go see comfy houses near the equator zone where it will not be as cold. But if you're like me and you like low temperatures, you can go to more distant places like Canada and see the Niagara Falls, or even to Argentina and Brazil and see the Iguazu Falls as well. Oh yeah, my bad. This year, the constant flow of water in these two wonders of nature will have completely pulverized the stone beneath them, making them no more than another river or lake in the bunch, which by the way will be frozen, because remember, Ice Age, but don't worry, eventually it will end. 100,000 years. The constellations in space will change and Mars will be 100% terraforming. The Earth and our solar system are in constant movement, moving faster than a speeding bullet, and this is why you should take many pictures of the starry sky before it changes completely, because in 100,000 years that's what will happen. It doesn't matter from which part of Earth you will look at the sky, it will not be the same. In fact, even if you do it from Mars, it will also be changed. And speaking of the red planet, if out of pure curiosity you were part of one of the missions of SpaceX or some other agency and you decided to migrate to this planet, in 100,000 years you will no longer have to be using one of those annoying space suits, because by this time the surface of Mars will be 100% terraforming, meaning there will be vegetation, atmosphere, oxygen, water, and many others. Oh, and for that moment you remember to activate the notifications bell and like this video, since for some reason YouTube no longer alerts you when the robot with artificial intelligence of myself publish any video. 500,000 years. It is very possible that the Earth has been hit by an asteroid of 1 kilometer in diameter. At this point in your long life, if due to fear or indecision you have not wanted to go to Mars, it would be a very good idea to pack your bags, because it is almost mathematically certain that an asteroid more than 1 kilometer in diameter is in direct collision with the Earth. If we fail to destroy or divert it, something that we should be able to do at that point, the asteroid will have enough power to end the life of an eighth of the planet and it will become very unstable too. But again, we probably will be able to destroy it before it destroys us. I hope. 1 million years. It is very possible that a chain of supervolcanoes will be unleashed on Earth and we may be a class 3 civilization. I hope that by now you have built a lava-proof bunker, because for about that year, a chain reaction of volcanic explosions will take place on Earth. The funny thing is that despite the fact that currently humanity have no more than 250,000 years of experience, we have already dealt with a similar situation. 70,005 years ago, in what we know today as Indonesia, a supervolcano that scientists call Tova emerged. It unleashed a chain of eruptions around the world and emitted enough ash to cover the entire planet for more than 6 years, ending almost all life on Earth. It is estimated that only about 5,000 human beings survived that catastrophe, so be sure to take a good look at the sun, because you will not see it again soon. Oh, by the way, if humanity hasn't extinguished itself yet, we will be a Type 3 civilization. 1.1 million years. Betelgeuse will become a supernova. Betelgeuse is a star not too far away from Earth that in a 1 million years will transform into a supernova, an event that will not affect the Earth in a negative way, but rather transform the sky into an art piece. So if you are on Mars, on Earth, or wherever your boredom takes you, relax a bit, take a chair, a good beer, and enjoy the show. 2 million years. If we have already colonized other planets, but they are very far away from each other, there will be a very different human variations between each colony, making that there are several types of human beings. If for some reason the human race continues to exist and decided to send missions of colonization to planets and moons that are sufficiently far away from Earth, after several 100,000 years, the people of each planet that was conquered will be very different from each other. The climatological, gravitational, alimentary conditions and other factors that change in each new planet will define their inhabitants, and after thousands of generations, they will stop resembling with the first settlers. So, if you want to live in Titan, maybe you will look like this. Oh no, better avoid Titan, please. 100 million years. Saturn will lose its rings. I really hope that by this time you have already taken a good picture with Saturn rings, because it is estimated that in 100 million years, and this being formed by dust, small rocks and other matters, these will be attracted to the planet's surface or ejected to space thanks to the constant gravity of Saturn. 240 million years. Our solar system will have completed a galactical orbit around the Milky Way. If Earth takes 365 days to make a full circle around the Sun, our solar system takes about 240 million years to do the same to the entire galaxy. So happy birthday, I guess. 250 to 500 million years. A new supercontinent will be formed and the Sun will destroy almost all our ozone layer. Finally, you can fulfill your dream of traveling the whole world in a motorcycle, since now all the continents have come together forming a new supercontinent named Pangaea Ultima. Well, that is if you are not bothered by burns and skin cancer, since in double the time it is very likely that the Sun will emit a ray burst so strong that it will destroy almost the entire ozone layer of the planet. And for this point ahead, you will witness how everything starts to get worse. 600 million. The Moon will have moved so far from Earth that total solar eclipses will no longer be possible. If your idea of immortality made you one of the few crazy people who remain on this damn planet Earth, now you will not be able to see a solar eclipse anymore, and this is because the Moon moves a few inches away from Earth every decade or so, and by this year it will be so far away that it will no longer be able to completely cover the Sun. Therefore, no more solar eclipses. 800 million years. The level of CO2 on Earth will be so high that photosynthesis will be impossible. Without photosynthesis, there is no oxygen, and with no oxygen, there is no life either. No matter what, at this moment, the level of CO2 on Earth will be so low that it will be impossible to carry out the process of transforming carbon dioxide into oxygen, aka photosynthesis. And I think it is clear what happens to the planet if there is no more oxygen. 1 billion years. The Sun will increase its luminescence by 10%, raising the average temperature of Earth by approximately 50 degrees Celsius or 122 Fahrenheit, evaporating almost all the water on the planet. Seriously, go away from Earth, please. Ultima Centauri is not that bad at all. Surely even a Disney park must have, because even if humanity is coming to an end, Mickey is going to stay there, I assure you, probably making more Star Wars and Marvel movies. But hey, if you do not leave Earth, what you are going to witness is not very nice. At this moment there will be no living plants, and no plants equals no oxygen. The tectonic plates will stop moving, so at least you will have not to worry about earthquakes, but you will have to worry about supervolcanoes. Giant volcanoes that will make it impossible to open your eyes because of the excessive ash, but suddenly you feel tired, very tired, but at the same time quiet and calm. You decide that although everything is very bad and that life no longer makes any sense, you had a good time. You entertained yourself, watching the wonders of the galaxy. You saw things that nobody else has seen before, and then, after all these great things, you close your eyes to take a small nap. But after a while, you don't open them again. It was a good journey after all. And well, my friends, this is how the video will end. A little sad, I know that, but in the end it seemed quite interesting and I decided to materialize it. If you like this type of video in particular, subscribe now. I will talk about alternate realities, history, the future of technology, the wonders of the galaxy, and many other things. If you have already subscribed and you want to help the channel grow, you could also help me on Patreon. Remember to hit the like button and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day and thanks for watching.